The Renault 19 is a small family car that was produced by the French car manufacturer Renault between 1988 and 1996. In Turkey and in Argentina, production continued until 2000. The internal development code for the 19 was X53, with a 5-door receiving the B53 chassis code, the 3-door being the C53, the Chamade the L53, and the Cabriolet the D53. Overview. The A19 was presented in June 1988, with sales in the domestic French market beginning in September 1988. It was the replacement for the 9 and 11, both of which were aging and outdated by the late 1980s. The A19 was styled by Giorgetto Giugiaro, featuring Renault's new E-Type 1.4L engine and F-Type 1.7L versions. Base models originally used the OHVC type clack copyright on 1.2 and 1.4L engines, depending on the market. While originally only available with an atmospheric diesel engine, a turbocharged version appeared in early 1992. Intended to be Renault's last numeric named car, the 19 ushered in a new naming policy, with the saloon versions of the 19 being known as the 19 Chamade to distinguish them from the hatchbacks. The sedan first appeared for the 1990 model year. In many markets the Chamade badge was dropped following the 1992 facelift, with some replacing it with the Europa tag. In 1991 a convertible body style built by Carman was first shown. A very few of these were built with a phase-I design. Although the A19's exterior design received a muted response, it was praised for its interior comfort and handling. For the fuel-injected top versions a 4-speed automatic transmission became available in the fall of 1990. Lesser versions still made do with 4 or 5-speed manuals or a 3-speed automatic. A convertible version appeared in early 1992, only available with the 2 most powerful engine options. In the summer of 1992, a revamped model was introduced with a substantially restyled front and rear, while LHD market versions received a new dashboard and interior. Euro or HD models retained the original design. With the facelift, smaller Energy Series units gradually replaced the old pushrod items, and 1.8-litre engines appeared at the top of the lineup where they replaced the more powerful 1.7 units. The A19 was sold in most of Europe until 1996, and was produced for South American markets in Argentina until 2000. Turkish production lasted a little longer than in the rest of Europe, also until about 2000. The A19's platform and running gear would continue to be used in its replacement, the first-generation Renault Mar copyright gain. The Renault 19 was awarded the 1989 Car of the Year in Spain and Germany, 1990 Car of the Year in Ireland, and 1993 Car of the Year in Argentina. 16S hot hatch equals. The Renault 1916S hot hatch, added to the lineup in the autumn of 1990, had a distinctive air inlet on the bonnet, a rear spoiler, 15-inch Speedline alloy wheels, side skirts, twin headlamps, bucket seats, and a trip computer. The S is for soupapes, French for valves. The braking system was uprated to include 259mm vented discs on the front and 237mm discs on the rear, as well as an uprated lower suspension setup. Phase 1 editions benefited from unique front and rear bumpers with front indicators relocated into the bumpers to allow for the twin headlamps, while the Phase 2 retained the original bumpers found throughout the range but added color-coded tops, rubber inserts, and a discrete lower splitter. The very last models were called Executive and came with leather interior as standard. A 16S version was also produced in Europe which was equipped as above, however, the earliest models did not sport the bonnet vent. The Phase 2 models' gear ratios were also revised to allow for the extra weight found in the safety equipment the later models carried. Renault claimed an acceleration from 0 to 100 km per hour of 8.2 seconds. Each model boasted 137 picoseconds in a catalyzed form and a top speed of 215 km per hour. Phase-I included a non-catalyzed version with 140 picoseconds. Engines. One only for South American model. Manufacturing factories: Douai, Maubeuge, Haran-Vilvoorde, Laguna de Douro, Valladolid, Villamorial de Cerrato, Palencia, Citabal, Santa Isabel California Cube d'Oba, Envigado, Oyac Renault Bursa. References. External links, brief history and technical specifications of the Renault 19, resource for classic Renault owners and 19 enthusiasts.